Show.
There's no way you're going to get us to shut up today because we've got a lot to talk about. Mr. D. Niman, it's good to see you, my friend.
It's great to see you too, Sir Daniel Patel. And I have a huge announcement to make literally as that intro was playing, 130,000.
Wow. Oh, my gosh. Do I know where the applause is? I don't have an applause. I think I have an applause somewhere. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't know.
That was
build a new studio. I don't laughing, making fun of you. All right, sorry.
Yeah, so hey, listen, so today we're going to be talking about all kinds of cool things. If you're just getting started on YouTube or trying to figure out how to get things rolling, how to build up that momentum, or how to even press the start from the very beginning and get going, that's what we're going to cover today. And at the end, we're going to finally do some Q&A. We realize that we haven't been doing much Q&A during our live stream, so if you have questions, please save them to the end. We are going to get to that at the end of this. So we're going to go through some basics at the beginning, then we're going to ramp it up a little bit, then we'll get into Q&A.
So let me get this straight. We're actually supposed to talk to some of the people who come to the live stream?
Yeah, engagement. Engagement's good.
I must not have gotten that sticky note. Hey, I want to say hi to Phil Starkovich out there in the chat today. Good to see you, Mr. Starkovich.
Well, hey,
Mr. Paul Peck in there. Mr. Paul Peck, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see you too. So, we were talking about the idea of starting a YouTube channel. And one of the things that was funny was it's been forever since I've actually started a YouTube channel. And a lot of us are either coming to the platform and saying that, what is it going to take? How do I actually do that thing? But there's other creators like us who might be looking to start a second channel or do something different, especially with things like the advent of shorts that are now onto the platform. And some people are trying to maybe make a separate channel and do something a little different, maybe incorporate more shorts on that channel or make it more of a live streaming platform. So this felt like a really good topic for us today to kind of come back and pay attention to, because I got to be honest with you, it's you would think it would be like riding a bike, but when I went back to think about like how do you actually start a channel again, I was like forgetting some of the steps that you actually had to do. How about you, D? How long has it been since you've had to start one?
It's been a while, and for your viewing amusement, we're actually going to walk through it live, and neither one of us has actually started a channel in quite some time. So.
That's a song. It's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
So listen, D, give us some of the very first basic things, because there's things you have to do before you even can go in and start the YouTube channel itself, because YouTube is a Google product. Give me an idea of the very basic first things we need to do to even think about starting a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'll do that in just 1 second, but I want to see here, show of hands, if you do not have a channel yet, or you're just getting started and you're trying to figure this out, type in yes in the chat right now. I'd love to identify people who are at the beginning of their journey here on YouTube. So if that's you, type in yes. And then if you have any questions about this, or we go through something too quickly, let us know at the end, and we'll be happy to swing back around. All right, the first thing you obviously are going to need is a Gmail account. A Gmail account is totally free to set up. You set up a Gmail account, then you need to come over to youtube.com, and this is where you're actually going to create your account. Dan, you want to throw that up? This is where the fun's going to start, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me play with my mouse here.
Let's see if D can still ride a bike.
We'll learn.
There we go.
Look at all those handsome fellas on screen. I'm talking about Andrew.
Look at him up there. Yeah. All right. So once you come to youtube.com, you want to come up to your profile picture, which currently does not have a profile picture. You want to tap on that. And if you come down, the very first thing that you're going to see is create a channel. Now, if you're doing this on a mobile device, this might look a little bit different. What I do recommend is use the Chrome browser and request the desktop site on the Chrome browser so you can see something like this. And there's going to be a lot of pinching and zooming. So what you're going to do is create a channel. And then your creator journey begins. And those of you who are brave are going to click on get started, and everybody else is going to click on no thanks. So you're going to click on get started. And this is where you have to make a decision. Do you want to use a custom name, a channel name using your brand or a name or something like that? Or do you want to use your actual name? So I'm going to use a custom name. So I'm going to select something here because you see YouTube is trying to force Dan Niman on me. Our long-lost brother from the same mother.
Dan Niman, he doesn't call anymore. Haven't heard from him in a while.
We've banished him. So you're going to click on select, and then you're going to create your channel name. We're going to go put on my channel name. I'm going to agree to the terms, and I'm going to create my channel.
I can't wait to subscribe to this channel.
Yes. You guys, you don't even know what you're missing out on if you're not subscribed to this channel already. Nice work. Your channel, Dan Nimmin, has been created. So here's the funny thing. YouTube's actually changed a lot of this since the last time I went in and did this. So I'm completely flying blind, but we want to show you just how easy it is.
Yep.
And I'm putting myself out there. So if I do something wrong, feel free
Should I pull
to
this down? Are you going to accidentally upload the wrong picture? Let's go into
you know,
Dee's pictures and see what his camera roll is.
Yeah, because I take screenshots of my password. So pull this down for a moment. Let me grab a profile picture. But this is where you upload a profile picture. Let me know when you're down here.
We're down. Yeah, listen, I'd be more than happy to pop you up accidentally. Listen, let's anybody in the chat. Listen, if we want to really get behind the scenes with Dee Nimmin, then let's. This could be our moment. This could be our moment to shine. Dee Nimmin exposed.
Okay, I'm good. You can pull
You good?
it back up.
All right, pull it back up. Okay, look at that handsome fella.
Look at that guy. Dan's the best of us. Dan
Remarkable family similarities here. The resemblance is uncanny.
Yeah. Okay, so now we want to tell viewers about your channel. Let viewers know what or whom your videos are about. Your description can show up in church results and search results and other places. So what kind of channel does Dan Nimmin have?
From what I know from Nick, I heard that he likes cooking cakes. I think the thing he's into, isn't it? Is that correct? Cooking cakes?
Okay. So my channel description is going to be helping the world cook better cakes.
Right. Not big. It has to be cook.
Right. Very clear. I'm a cake cooker, and he's going to help the world cook better cakes. That's a very clear, very short value proposition there. Okay, now you can come down here, and this is where you can add links to your site. So if you have social media links, you want to link out to Twitter or Facebook or your website, you can do this. However, something to keep in mind, if you're just getting started, Daniel and I can both agree on this, is that when you're trying to build up channel momentum, you want to keep people on the platform. So I don't recommend sending people off platform when you're new. Once you start to build up channel momentum, then come back and add this stuff, because you want to keep everybody on your channel and get them to watch one video after another video. So I'm going to bypass this for right now. Do you agree with that, Daniel?
Yeah, and that's one of the things, YouTube is a very high functioning platform, and it's going to give you lots of options to do many things. What you want to do along the way is just make sure you're being intentional about what you do, because you can always go back and change things later and add things as your channel gets bigger. But most of our focus right off the bat is we really want to focus on the channel itself, not sending people all over the planet.
Right. Let me see what I can do here. Whoopsie. Something just happened here. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Dan.
There we go.
What's happening, Dan?
All right. Are you still showing my screen up here?
I still have your screen up here.
Okay, so after you've gone through that process, it's going to land you right to your channel. And this is where you could upload your first video, or you can customize your channel. And right now, I'm just going to click on Customize Channel.
This is one of the things that's changed for us, I've noticed going back in, because they've moved a lot of the adjusting your profile pic and things right into the Customize Channel tab, which is now inside of Studio. It used to be from the outside, and now we move up, and now it's all inside of that customization tab right inside of YouTube Studio. Did you click on the button?
Yeah, is it not showing?
It's showing. It just doesn't seem to have changed screen.
Oh, how weird.
That is. They don't want you.
Oh, you know why? Because it popped a new screen.
Ah, there we go. Switch screens.
Yep, so let me stop that and I'll come back. So this is a good point to pause and let you know that if you want to upload custom thumbnails or you want to go live on your channel, you need to verify your account, which is free. And you can do that by going to youtube.com/verify. This is a free service. All you have to do is put in a phone number and they're going to text you a code. You have to give them that code back. Then your channel is going to be verified after 24 hours. Then you can upload custom thumbnails and you can go live from your computer. And if you want to go to live from your phone, you can't do it from the app, but you can use a third-party service, something like StreamYard.com, to actually get up and go running live on your phone if you have under 1,000 subscribers, but you have to verify first.
Yeah. And it's a simple process. It's gonna give you all that ability to do the custom thumbnails is the biggest thing you get out of verifying your channel, and that ability to be able to make your own thumbnails the way you want, customize the look you want, is so important.
Yep. Give me 1 second here. Let me go back to the Dan Nimmin channel.
The Dan Nimmin channel, I think, is going to be hot. I have high expectations for the Dan Nimmin channel because when it comes to cooking cakes, I got to admit I'm not the most skilled cake cooker. cake cooker.
So I just realized that as
Yes.
I am trying to open up all these different features on YouTube, they keep popping up different screens. So I might have to
That's
take this
okay.
on and
You
off.
let me know.
Yeah.
We're with you. We're with you all the way, though, D. This
All right,
is
go ahead and pull this back up.
let me do that. So this is the new channel customization. For those of you who have been on the platform for a while, it used to be you'd click that customized channel right on the home page of your channel, and it would just refresh that home page of your channel, but give you all these options to change things. It was like it would put it into edit mode. Now they've moved it all over to the customization tab inside of Studio, and now this is where they have all the different sections that used to be you'd modify right from the homepage and the different tabs. Now it's all here right inside of the customization tab. I actually like this better. What do you think, D?
I didn't at first, but now that they've got everything put together, I do like it. Everything is kind of in one place, and it just makes sense. So yeah. I was a little slow getting used to this, but now that it's finished, I dig it. All right, so this is where you're going to land into, and you see up here at the top. You see right up here at the top. You can go over to branding. And once you're in branding, this is where you can change your profile. And by the way, when you're adding your profile, if you find that it doesn't show up right away across all the browsers and the apps, that's okay. It just takes a while for that image to propagate all over the servers and go everywhere. So don't freak out if your profile picture doesn't show up right away. As long as you come into branding and you see your profile picture is there, it is there. It just might take a little bit to show up everywhere. So now...
Stay right here for 1 second. You know, one of the things I want to talk to you about, D, is this whole page talks about branding, which is super important. But let's take one step before the branding. When we talk about branding, really we're starting to talk about what the channel is about and how to, to get the messaging of what the value of this channel is going to be. One of the things you want to do before you move into the branding section, you've now set up your account. You've now got a picture, maybe just of yourself to start. That thing that Dee said, talking about this is all about cooking cakes. Make sure when you move into your branding here that you're going to teach people how to cook a better cake. Was that what we said it was?
Yes.
You want to make sure that all the things you're about to do now really reinforce this value. Okay. So remember, when we start working towards this branding part, that what we're really saying is we want to show people exactly how to cook a better cake. So walk us through this section here, Dee.
Right. Okay, so when you're in branding, obviously you can change or add your profile picture again. And this is where you can come down to your banner image or channel art, as a lot of people call it. And this is the part that's going to show up on the top of your channel. Now, there's a couple of ways to go about this in terms of making them. You can use canva.com. You can use placeit.net. You can make it yourself with Photoshop or photop.com or GIMP. You can use apps like PixArt or Pixel Lab to make these. There's a lot of different ways to actually make your channel banner. But the key part is what they recommend here for the minimum size is a 2048 by 1152 pixels. So
now it can be that's minimum. The maximum you can go up to is, which I recommend, is 2560 by 1440. That's standard. That's going to give you a little better resolution.
Right. So here's a great tip for building your channel art, because your channel art's going to display differently on different devices. It's going to get cropped down for mobile devices. It's going to be a little less cropped for iPads, a little less cropped for computers, and there's going to be no crop at all for people who are watching it on a television. So Dan, if you can pull this down for a second, and I'm going to pull up an image so you guys don't see my passwords.
Where's the fun in that, not knowing your passwords, though, D? I want to know how to get access to everything. If you could put your bank account PIN number up there and your MasterCard, please. There's a couple more things I need to buy for the set that I haven't been able to purchase yet, and any donation would be appreciated.
So what you can do is you can go to Google and you can search for YouTube channel art template. And when you search for YouTube channel art template, it's going to be a gray image that I'm going to upload right here in a second as soon as it's loading. It is free for you to download. Channel art template. Okay.
And while he's pulling that up, one thing I should make you aware of is just recently on my channel, I think it was the last live stream I just did, I walked through really in-depth analysis of how to really set up a channel art, use the template, figure out how to get your channel art really balanced. So if you're looking for something like that, feel free to stop on by and check that out. Can we show them this, D?
Yeah. Go ahead and pull it up.
All right, perfect.
Okay.
Oh, we just lost it. Okay.
Nope, we just lost it. Okay.
All right, bring it back.
Yeah, give me. I'm coming back again. Give me 1 second here. Oh, there goes all my passwords.
It's one of this is the reason this is important is, like D said, is you're going to make this 2560 by 1440 is the full size resolution that gets cropped down from television to desktop to tablet and to mobile. Is it there, D?
Yeah, go ahead.
And the reason that's important, I'm still seeing the other screen, is that if you don't have that laid out properly, what will happen is if someone's viewing your channel art on a mobile device and you don't have it properly optimized, you're going to end up having parts of things like your logos cut off, your face cut off, your value proposition cut off. I'm still looking at the other screen, D. Do you have the...
Yes, I uploaded it, and it's not allowing us to see it.
Oh, right. Perfect. I love it.
Because that's exactly what we wanted.
Yeah, right. I love it.
Right. So just Google for the YouTube channel art template. It's going to be a gray image. And once we go back to the channel, you're going to see that it's showing up there. So scrolling on down from there is your video watermark. This is a watermark that you upload that you see in the bottom right-hand corner. A lot of people like to use a subscribe button to try to remind people to subscribe. Some people use a transparent PNG and they put their logo on there or their signature or something like that. I'm not going to do that for today, but I did add my profile picture and I added a default channel art, which is the actual template. And then I'm going to go up here back to the top and I'm going to publish. Let me get this out of the way. Nope, right there. I'm going to publish this. And my computer's going crazy. Hold on.
That's always the way.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me see if I can
Okay,
pull that.
so now it's published, and I'm going to go to my channel. So I'm going to tap on View Channel up here at the top.
Perfect.
Okay, now what you can see here is
you got to pull up that
text.
second screen. You're on another screen.
Boy, it's just not transferring that every time it
It's being a pain in our butt. See, this is the new YouTube. See, this is why we go through this stuff, so that people can see that even for us, for creators that have been around for a long time, it's still a little bit of a workout. It is pretty simple, but try live streaming and doing it at the same time.
Okay, we're ready.
Let's look at the Dan Nimmin channel. I like it already.
All right, so you can see how it has the template up here, text and logo safe area. This darkest part in the middle is what's going to show up on a mobile device. The slightly lighter gray on the sides, that's going to be for tablets, and everything else beyond that is going to be for desktop and for televisions. So it's key that the most important things that you upload are focused right here dead center, because the majority of your viewers are going to be mobile viewers. 70% of all watch time on YouTube is now coming from a mobile device. So you want to make sure that you don't alienate anything in your channel art if it's important. Now, Daniel, let's talk about the channel art. What should people put in their channel art?
Oh, on a very simple basis, I'm a huge fan of messaging. So in this case, let's say it's Dan Nimmin, and his value proposition is he teaches people how to cook better cakes. So ridiculous. What we would probably think about doing is we'd want to get the channel name up there, because if someone just saw the image, it should say, if that's the name of the channel, Dan Nimmin, we'd probably want to get Dan Nimmin up there. And because Dan, our good brother Dan, is leveraging his own name as part of the brand, he should probably get like maybe his face up there somewhere, that so people can recognize that's Dan Nimmin's name. Let me see if I can, put a face to that, so people will start recognizing that face. So these you could see, like, wow, Dan looks as handsome in drawings as he does in his image.
Right, look at this guy.
Same haircut. Now, this is kind of the basics. Now, you could do whatever you want, but you see how D is putting all of this together within that text and logo safe area? The most important thing that you'd want to put in here is the value proposition of the channel, so that anyone who happens to stumble across this would immediately say, okay, I don't know what this channel's about. So maybe they would want to say, well, what is Dan Nimmin going to teach me? And the largest portion, in my opinion, should be cook better cakes, something like that, that would immediately say, okay, he's going to teach me how to cook better cakes. That's it. Or maybe it could be cook better cakes with Dan Nimmin. All right. So that you've got his name in there, but the value prop should jump out so that anyone who stumbles across it immediately goes, this guy, Dan Nimmin, not only is he devastatingly handsome and not know the word bake, but he's going to teach me how to cook better cakes, and can start digesting the content in that channel and see the value even at a distance.
Right. And if I'm going to put that in here, I'm going to put the most important thing, which is helping you cook better cakes. That's going to be the largest part. That's going to be the largest part up here, because the thing about your channel art is, and this is where a lot of people get it backwards, a lot of people want to put their name up there and they want it to be the biggest, right? Dan Nimmin. They want to put their logo up there, Dan Nimmin. But when people are first finding your channel, they don't know who you are, so that's not really important to them. What is important to someone new who finds your channel is what's in it for them. Why should they be part of your channel? Why should they look at your videos? Like, what is in it for the viewer? That's what you want to put as the biggest thing in your channel art, is what's in it for the viewer. And in this case, for good old Dan, it's helping you cook better cakes. That's going to be the largest thing. And then I'm going to put something smaller. It says, with Dan Nimmin, right? Because my name isn't that important. People don't care about you until they learn that you care about them.
Correct. Well, right? So well said.
And that's then an Owen video quote. That's an Owen video quote.
Owen is always with us, if not in body, in spirit.
That's right.
And then you have all this other space to deal with. Once you get the basics in, that's when you could really double down on the value, the messaging, the images. If you're teaching people how to cook better cakes, then the images might be, show some of these amazing pictures of cakes that you can diffuse into the background, or that you can work in it without overpowering the foreground. Let the message speak through, but then you can start figuring out a way to bring in some of those cake images without totally stuffing it full. But maybe the image of Dan is actually holding this great cake that he cooked, and maybe there's some more kind of cooking stuff that's diffused into the background, so that we start really bringing that messaging together. Here's the name of the channel. This is the value proposition. Let's put that into an image so that when people see it, they go, there's Dan. He's going to help people cook better cakes. Oh, there's Dan with the cake. He's going to help us learn how to cook.
Right, there I am in the header. A stick Dan is holding the cake.
This is, by the way, this is a good time to mention that Dee will be happy to make your channel art for you if you're into stick figure drawing.
Yeah, I'm available on Fiverr if anyone wants to hire me.
Freer. It's a little more affordable than Fiverr.
Yeah. The main thing is, like what Daniel was saying, is you want to make the packaging make sense to with your value proposition. So cooking better cakes, you want a picture of me in the header holding the cake. Well, Dan, not me, holding the cake. When you're making your thumbnails, you want to make sure that it matches with your channel art in terms of having imagery of cakes, or something that lets them know that you're cooking cakes.
That's so powerful. Before you've ever even made a piece of content, knowing the channel you want to make can be so helpful, like really understanding the value. Now listen, YouTube is going to be the first to tell us that when you're a new creator, it's going to be difficult to know exactly what it is you're supposed to be making, to know the exact value on how to make everything. So it is okay to kind of test and try a few different things. And it's not like you're going to get it all dialed in right off the bat. But if you are trying to build a channel that grows, or if you're a channel that has already existed and you're making a second channel, make sure that you jump right into that value and really start defining what it is now, because the sooner you do that, the easier it is to understand what your channel art should look like, to understand the kind of titles that you want to make, the kind of thumbnails you want to make, the kind of topics you're going to have. You can say right off the bat, right, if Dan Nimmin has helping people cook better cakes, I can already start imagining what kind of titles for his video I might have, or what kind of thumbnails. It all starts making sense, because you can go, oh, I want everything that I make should hold true to that value proposition when I make a video. And I'm going to be Dan for a minute here, just pretend I have no hair. And I should say to myself, does this video help people cook better cakes? And if it doesn't, then maybe not make that video for your channel. Maybe save that for something else. On this channel, Dan really wants to focus on content that helps people cook better cakes. I can't say that. I can't say it enough. Cook better cakes.
I love that you said this part, because so many people, when they're getting started, They just don't know what type of niche they're going to be in. They don't know what their channel is going to be about. They might be thinking, well, I have all these different interests. I love cooking cakes. I love travel. I love rebuilding cars. I love Star Wars. I love playing guitar. I have all these interests. Which one should I make videos about? And this is a very common question. If this sounds familiar, go ahead and raise your hand in the chat if you have all these different interests and you're just getting started and you're not sure which one to lean into, because we can tell you we can give you some tips on how you can lean into the right one. And like Daniel mentioned, if you are just getting started and you want to test out a bunch of different things, that's great. That's fantastic. Make a bunch of different types of videos if you're not sure which way to go yet, and wait for one or two of them to become a breakout video. And by that, let's say you normally get 100 or 200 views per video, and you upload one particular type of video, and that video got 500 views or 1,000 views. That's going to be a breakout video. What I would do at that point is I would make a second video that's similar to your breakout video, just to confirm that you're on the right path. And if you can get all the indicators that you're on the right path with another breakout video, lean into that. Go in on that one, because that's the one that's connecting with an audience. Now, you can move forward with a variety channel, right? There's no right or wrong answer, but you have to understand that if you are creating a variety channel in 2021 and you have all these different interests, you can do it, but you're going to be slow. You're going to have slower growth because you're not going to be connecting with one specific audience. You're going to have your audience segmented and all over the place. So you are generally going to grow slower. So just be warned. Be warned, people.
Yeah, that's a thing that used to be. It's changed so much. I think people forget that. Back in the day. I'm going to do my old man stories now, right? Back in the day, YouTube was a different thing where it was so new that people came in and made content about whatever was going on in their life. And it was so new and different that audiences were interested in, like, what's this new thing? It's this platform where people upload videos, and creators actually did well being all sorts of things because it was just kind of interesting. It was a voyeuristic, let's take a look and learn more about these people who are suddenly throwing videos up. It didn't really exist before. But as the platform progressed, it became a lot more akin to something like, it's not exact, but I like to reference like Netflix, where Netflix is something that has all kinds of movies and different types of topics on there, but they break things down. And if you're into like horror movies, Netflix is going to start serving you more horror movies in your recommendations. If you're into science fiction movies, Netflix is going to start recommending more science fiction movies because you watched, maybe you'll like this. YouTube is not dissimilar. They're really trying to understand the viewer nowadays and the interests of the viewer. So you really want to capitalize on that by saying, hey, if I can really just get myself into one lane, not try to be a science fiction, horror, love story, drama, comedy all in one, which could work. I think Pulp Fiction might have been that. But you can, what you can do is if you get into that one lane, it helps YouTube understand the type of audience that your content can be served to week after week. And it helps that connection to be established so that the viewers keep expecting the same thing from you. That way they're more likely to come back and watch your next piece of content, because we can assume that if they enjoyed your last one, this next one, if it's on the same kind of subject, the same kind of target, same kind of value, there's a good chance they might enjoy that as well.
Yep, that's solid. While we have the channel pulled up here, our new cake cooking channel, where'd it go? So let's talk about the About page for a second. So if you go all the way over to the right, you have About. Daniel, what do you recommend putting in your About?
The way I think about the About tab, and you can go on forever. There's some very simple things that I think that every About tab should have, and it should start with that same value proposition. That should be the premier thing. Your About tab should tell people if Dan Nimon's channel is all about teaching people how to cook better cakes, then it should really start with that. Like, my name is Dan Nimon, and my channel is dedicated to helping people cook better cakes. And then what I would say is then move into a slightly elaborated or elongated value proposition that includes some bio, so that in the About tab, the viewer who's there on your channel can learn more about you. Maybe you could say, my name is Dan Nimon, and I've been a professional pastry chef for over 20 years, and I decided to bring my passion for cooking cakes here to the YouTube platform so that I could teach other people who wanted to learn how to cook better cakes along with me while we put up these videos and follow my journey, right?
That was great.
That
was great.
I almost wrote it. I was close. I was about 92%, right? So those kind of things really help people understand not only the value of the channel, but you get a little behind the scenes look at the person who might be behind it, if that is in fact the kind of channel you're making where you're on screen. And then you can do things like, here's a spot where you can introduce, like maybe you have a website or other things you can put in links. There's two ways to do that. Now, if you put those links in the link section of the About tab, they're going to show up in the channel art. So you have to be aware of that. And we said originally, be careful of that pushing people off the platform. But someone who comes to the About tab, you can also just list a link that's not a clickable link, but it says, you know what, you can follow me on Instagram, here's my website, and they can copy and paste from there. You can also put in your business email or the email where people can reach you in the About tab. So if you want to make sure that people who may want to reach out to you for whatever reason, maybe it's a brand who eventually wants to reach out and say, hey, we love what you've been doing with cakes and we'd like to, we're Betty Crocker and we sell, different cake box recipes and maybe we could do something together and sponsor a piece of content. They know how to reach you by coming to the About tab.
Solid. Absolutely solid. Okay, so I think that covers everything with this section. I want to move back into customized channel for a moment.
You want me to keep this up?
And let's see if it transfers. Nope, I have to switch it because they just popped a new window. Right. So we need to go back here.
Yeah, I'll try not to show any passwords yet. That's our big reveal at the end. Stay tuned. You're going to learn all of these passwords.
Hunter 49. There it is. I'll just get it out there now.
Right. Yeah, there's not a word that comes before Hunter, is there?
No.
Okay. Just checking.
All right, so we're back into channel optimization. You can pull me back up. So this is really important. This is a great place to upload the right videos and put the right playlist together to help direct people into content that they can binge watch and help them identify the content that they want. Obviously, you're going to have to upload videos first, but if you look up here at Video Spotlight, they give you two options here to upload videos. One is a channel trailer for people who haven't subscribed yet. This is a video that you can upload for people who don't know who you are, they haven't subscribed yet. It can be an introduction to your channel, or it could be one of your highest performing videos based on subscribers or watch time based on what your channel goals are. I like to take proven performers and putting them at the front of playlist. I like putting them up here because they're already proven performers. I know that they're going to convert people over to subscribers. Or if you're trying to sell something, if you have an Etsy store, you have a course or something to sell, a digital product, and you know that you have a video that drives sales, this is also a great place to put that video. You also have an option to put a video for people who are subscribers and they're returning to your channel. Moving down from there.
Well, can we say that for 1 second?
Yes.
What would you suggest someone puts into the featured video for a returning subscriber? It makes sense for someone who's a new visitor. They don't really know you yet. They might want to learn more about, so you might want to put that really high converting piece of content or something that, someone's new. So really, thinking about what you would want a new visitor to see first, a channel trailer, something that is proven winner on your channel. What about a returning subscriber? Why would they come back to your channel?
Well, if you do everything right and you make content that people are interested in and they want to see more of, or they just like you as a personality, here's the thing. I like to do one thing here. If I'm working with a sponsor, I like to put sponsored videos here because it brings attention to the sponsor. If I'm not working with a sponsor, because notifications go out and not everybody gets those notifications, you can also use your latest video to put here because not everybody's going to get those notifications. And if they do get the notifications, they might not actually come back at that particular time to look. So you can put your latest video there to let them know, hey, I've got a new video, check it out. So that's what I like to use for mine, either the latest video or a sponsored video. Daniel, what do you put there?
I do the same thing. I really lean on the most recent video because notifications are great, but in the long scheme of things, I get maybe 1 to 3% of views from notifications. So that means that the vast majority are people either finding my content, what I call out in the wild, being recommended, or finding it in search, or coming to find it afterwards. So unfortunately here, YouTube doesn't yet allow us to automatically have a video populate into that spot. You actually have to go and insert it and change it manually. I wish they had a feature that would be every time I uploaded a new video, it automatically would pop up for featured video for returning subscribers. But as of now, what I do is after I publish, I go back to my homepage, I put it up in there, and I make sure it's right there for anybody later on who didn't get the notification.
Love it. Moving down from there, you have featured sections, and this is where you can truly optimize your channel. This is where you can create curated playlists So people can come to your homepage and say, okay, wow, this is exactly what I want. And you can drive them to one particular playlist of a particular type of video, and then they can binge watch your content here. So first you have to actually create the playlists. And if you don't know, can we walk them through how to create a playlist? Or
you could, yeah, I'm wondering, because it says add a section. Do we even have any sections to add yet now that there's no content on this channel?
Yeah, so you're going to have to figure out how to create a playlist. It's pretty easy, actually. All you do is just go through your videos and you add a playlist, create a name. But when you're adding a playlist name and adding a playlist description, treat it just like you would a video. Come up with a great name, either something that's going to rank well in search or something really compelling that's going to get people's interest. And write a good keyword-rich description, because these can rank. These can get suggested to people. So treat your playlist like you would a video. Once you have a playlist put together of curated content, for example, on my channel, I help mobile content creators succeed on YouTube and live stream with their phone. So a playlist for me might be best live streaming apps for iPhone. And then all of the videos in that particular playlist are videos that help people live stream with their phone. So if you have an iPhone, you want to get into live streaming, here's 8 of my best videos that show you how to do that. Okay. And once you
stay here for 1 second when you're talking about that titling. It's a good time to mention our wonderful sponsors, TubeBuddy, here on the TubeBuddy channel. You can use the Keyword Explorer inside of TubeBuddy to help you find better playlist titles, the same way that you can use it to help you find better video titles. Because if you optimize for things that people actually type into the search bar, you start understanding the language of the target audience you're trying to reach. So the same way you might be making a video on, maybe Dan is trying to figure out, he wants to make a video that shows people how to cook a better birthday cake, right? He does that, but he says, I want to show people a bunch of different cakes in this playlist. And he can start using the Keyword Explorer to look up, what's the right way to phrase this? It might be my top 10 best cake recipes might be the name of the playlist, and then he can put a description under it. Here are 10 of my all-time favorite cake recipes that you might want to watch to learn how to master cake cooking. And then under there could be the birthday cake, the Valentine, I don't know, what are the other cakes? There's anniversary cake, a wedding cake. Clearly yes. I'm not a cake cooker. I need to go back to this channel.
Yeah. Yeah, and real quick, I want to address, I saw some people asking about mobile. So you get to this section on a mobile device by using the Chrome browser and then requesting the desktop site for a Chrome browser. For an iPhone, it's in the bottom right-hand corner. There's 3 little dots. You tap on those 3 little dots and you can request the desktop site. I don't remember if Android is at the bottom or if it's in the top, but you're going to have to look for the option to request a desktop site. Then you come here and you tap in your profile picture. It's a lot of pinching and zooming. You would think in 2021, YouTube would have this sorted out for mobile creators, but they don't. They don't just yet. They don't just yet.
And just really quickly, for people who have never done that before, all you're doing is you're telling your mobile browser on your phone, instead of showing you the mobile version, please show me what I would see if I were on like a desktop computer. That's what he means when he says, view as desktop site, or, what's the actual terms they use? It used to be view as desktop.
Yeah, it's request desktop site if you're using the Chrome browser.
So it's just switching the view from mobile view back over to traditional view, and then it opens up the features that you would see just like you would on your desktop.
Exactly. And when that happens, request mobile site, you're going to see that YouTube and whatever you're looking at is going to get really small, and you're going to see a huge website. It's going to be really long and really small. You're going to have to pinch and zoom to get in there. It's awkward, but that's what you have to do for now.
Pinch and zoom, baby.
Pinch and zoom, baby. There's a shirt. There's a pinch and zoom. I need to make merch.
That sounds like a 1970s cop team show. I'm Pinch. He's Zoom. Together we're Pinch and Zoom.
Welcome to the Pinch and Zoom show, ladies and gentlemen. That's great, pinches.
It should be 2 thieves. One guy pinches, the other guy runs with it. With pickpockets.
Okay. All right. So once you have your playlist, because this is going to go off the rails really quick here. Once you have your playlist, come over here to add section. Are we still showing my screen? Yes, we are.
We sure are.
Okay. Once you come over here to add section, if you tap on this, this is where you can load your popular uploads, short videos. So if you're making YouTube shorts, this is where you make a YouTube shorts playlist. You add section, you add short videos, and it's going to show up for mobile devices only. You can add live. So if you're like, hey, I want my live streams to show up on my homepage, you add section, you can put your live now, and it's going to create a section to let people know when you're live. A lot of people are asking, how come your live shows up on your homepage like that? Because you set it up here. You can show your past live streams, your upcoming live streams. Then you can come down to your playlist, single playlist, create a playlist, multiple playlist. You can add subscriptions from channels or featured channels. This is where you completely organize your channel. And once you have them built in here, I believe you can put 10 different sections. Daniel, correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct, 10.
Okay. And once you have them loaded up, if you come over here, you see these two little lines right there. You can press and hold those and move them up and down to organize where you want things to go. Now, Daniel, let's say you have all your playlists put together, everything's curated. How would you organize these to make them best for viewer?
For me, when I'm putting together this homepage, because this is the first page people are gonna see when they actually come to your channel. Like, there's different tabs, but the homepage is the default opening screen. So when I do this, like if this is Dan Niman and he's building his Cook Better Cakes channel, I would say with Dan, when he starts putting together his playlists, look at which playlists are performing better than the other ones. And what I try to do is I try to keep the strongest performing content, the stuff that people are viewing the most, things that people seem to get recommended more often and they choose to click, put those up towards the top, because that way when someone first lands on your homepage of your channel, they see, Dan Niman helping, cook better cakes, and it's got him with the cake, and then they scroll down as a featured piece of content right there that's like maybe his trailer or showing to make that one great video that really shows how to make that one perfect cake that he's really known for this video. Then they scroll down, they see these playlists that are organized right there that says my top 10 favorite must-learn cake recipes. Those kind of things way up top that really reaffirm that value proposition. When you put those there, what happens is when someone comes to the channel, it's really easy for the viewer to understand as a whole what this channel is about, because you've treated the whole channel I like to say much like a storefront. It's like if you walk by all of those big buildings you've seen in the city, like Macy's and Saks Fifth Avenue and, the Apple store, they always have a lot of glass and they try to put things up front that really express that value of what's in that store and why they should come in. Really curated stuff right in that front display. So treat that homepage like that and make sure that all of that stuff right up top is the really strong performing, eye-catching, high-performing stuff. One other thing while we're here, D, because we mentioned this before and it is important, I want to stress this. Can you click on the ads section again one time?
Yep.
When you click, if you see up the second one that's highlighted below, it says short videos. Super important. This is one of those quirks that D and I learned was if you don't add short videos as a section here, even though we're doing this on desktop, if you don't add it here, people won't be able to find your short videos all together in a playlist when they view your channel on a mobile device. It's one of the wonkiest things we've ever figured out, but you have to add it here. And I usually bring that right to the top, because if you're viewing from desktop, you won't even see those shorts because they're designed for mobile. At least you won't see the short shelf, I should say. You'll be able to see the shorts in their other forms, but you won't see the shelf as a section. But if you don't put it there, then when someone's viewing your channel from their mobile, which Dee said the vast majority of people do watch channels from their mobile device, then they won't be able to see all of your shorts put together in one shelf player. So make sure you do add that if you're using shorts in your strategy of how you're going to build your new cake cooking channel.
I love it. I'm glad you covered that. Okay, while we're here, I want to address something else here. If you look all the way down here on the side and scroll down, you're going to see the YouTube audio library. Yes. So if you're trying to figure out how you can use music for free without the issue of copyright claims or strike on your video, YouTube has a audio library. Is this still showing? Make sure it didn't pop up.
Yeah,
here.
right here.
Right, so here's your audio library where YouTube gives you free music. Free music you can use on your video.
And sound effects. So
And-
not only do you get free music that you can use, but if it's like, well, I don't really use music. Sound effects are so great to use in the background, mixing in for all kinds of different content. And all of this stuff is royalty free to use on the platform. Doesn't mean that you can take it and use it wherever else you want off of YouTube. But as long as you put it in a YouTube video, you can certainly share your YouTube videos on different platforms as long as they're hosted on YouTube. And all of this is royalty free. Now, some of it might require you to post a little bit of
attribution.
Attribution that shows who made this, but it's just something you add into the description. Can you find one with an attribution?
Yeah. So what you want to do is come over here. And by the way, some people might not see this. I didn't see this section for a long time, and then I'm seeing it again. So I don't know if they were testing something or what they did. But if you come up here to search for a filter for library, this little icon right here, the little upside down cake that's been cooked, if you tap on that, you can come down to the bottom and you see attribution not required. That means you do not have to give credit. And then underneath that is attribution required. So if you don't want to put any credit in your description, you can just search by attribution not required. And then everything that you find, you don't have to give any credit. However, if you choose attribution required, what you want to do is come over here to license type over here. And if you tap on that, it's going to give you the text that you need to put in your description. So copy all of this, and you can copy it by hitting that little icon right there. Copy that and put that in your description to make sure that you don't get a copyright claim because you're using music that needs to have credit. So that's very important.
And one of the other thing, while we're hanging here for 1 minute, if you're looking for the thing I like, I use the YouTube audio library all the time. The thing I like about it, if you look to the right, you can actually you can see the different if you look at the top tabs, you can see genre, mood, artist, duration. You can start actually trying to find the kind of content you want by searching for stuff in the audio library. But maybe you want something that's happy, or you want something that's kind of cinematic and dark, or maybe you want something that's, kind of light and acoustic, and you can actually start filtering and finding the kind of content you want to find for music you want to use really, really easily. So YouTube Audio Library is a great place for new creators who don't want to have to spend any money to put that really great music right in the background of their videos on YouTube.
Okay, and we're going to go through a couple more sections here that's really important. If you come down to settings, down here at the bottom, you've got a little gear icon. If you tap on settings, you can come in and you can choose your currency. You have your channel option here, so you can choose your country of residence. You can add keywords that are relevant to your channel.
Explain this. This is one that a lot of people ask me. Like, I tell people that I think, tags as a whole really don't mean a whole lot, but as long as they're still there, I tell people they should fill them out. But I do tell them that channel tags are important. When I say channel tags, people say, what do you mean channel tags? Here's what we're talking about. Keywords under the basic info of your channel settings, where it says add keywords. These are channel tags. These are often the kind of things that maybe an advertiser might use if they're trying to find, hey, I'm a company that we make baking powder. I'd really like to find some channels that do baking that we might be able to reach out to and see if we can maybe do some sponsored content. Well, if you have some of these tags and keywords in the channel, that's one of those things that sometimes helps advertisers quickly disseminate what kind of channels are doing what. So it is, as much as tags aren't really huge, channel tags can be important for things like advertisers really finding your content in your channel.
Love it. Okay, next to there is advanced settings, and this is where you can choose if your content is made for children or not made for children. This is where a lot of confusion happens. We've made videos on this in the past. You can research this, but in a nutshell, if your target audience, that means the people you are making videos for are under the age of 13, then you want to mark those videos as for children. If your target audience is for people above the age of 13, then you're not targeting children. You can have a mixed audience, that's okay. You can do it on a per video basis, or you can do it on a channel basis. If you want to do it on a channel basis, it is here in advanced settings.
And so we have to repeat this one because we always get the question. People always ask, well, does that mean that my content, what if it's for a mixed audience? It's family friendly. Family friendly is still not, unless it's specifically made for kids who are under the age of 13 and no one older, then your content should be marked as not made for kids, because it can be something that's made for a family audience for ages 3 and up can all enjoy your content to 95. Then it is not made. It should say not made specifically for kids. It would be easier to understand, but it means not made for kids would be the right choice.
Right. Moving on down from there, you've got auto-generated captions, and where you can say, don't show potentially inappropriate words, because sometimes auto-captioning makes mistakes. And under that, you can hide your subscriber count if you choose to do that. Moving over to feature eligibility, this is where you need to make sure that you verify your channel and you have access to default features. You can explore this for yourself to see what you get once you verify, what you get with default features. Moving down from there, and this is another place where TubeBuddy really shines. If you have TubeBuddy, you can have multiple default uploads. So you can have a default title, a default description, default visibility. So if you want to make sure that every video you upload is set to private before it goes, as soon as it goes up, you can do that there. Default tags. And the cool thing about TubeBuddy is where YouTube only allows you to do one, TubeBuddy allows you to do multiple. So maybe you have default for live streaming or default for a particular type of video. You can use TubeBuddy to set up the default uploads for that. Moving over to advanced settings, you can explore this. This is just the licensing. Make sure you're set to standard YouTube license and not Creative Commons, because if you set to Creative Commons, that means that you are giving everyone else on YouTube the right to use your videos. So standard YouTube license is important there. Video language, you can set that and explore this as well. Permissions, not a big deal. Community, you can add moderators to your channel. You can ban people from your channel. You can hide blocked words, and this part is key. I love this part. This is a powerful part. So if you are concerned about what people are going to say in your comments, maybe you don't like your nose, and you're like, hey, I've got a crooked nose, and you're worried that people are going to comment about your crooked nose, you can come in here and write in crooked nose. Then you can write in nose. You can write all the keywords. You can write I recommend you go in here and put in obscenities, anything that's racist, anything that's offensive or vulgar.
Oh, it's that my blocked words. It looks like I am just on a tear, like I've had too many whiskeys and I'm just swearing like a sailor.
Yes.
But that's what it is. It's designed to make sure that anything that YouTube may, because as you saw earlier, you can hold inappropriate comments, which YouTube will automatically filter what it thinks is inappropriate. But this is where you can really define something that might slip through the cracks that YouTube might miss, and you can put any kind of thing in there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mine is huge too. Like every single obscene, vulgar word that I could find, even phrases, I put that in there because I want my comment section to be A, family friendly, and B, brand friendly.
Yeah.
Like if you I mean, you can do whatever you want, but if you truly want to succeed, not everybody can be Gary Vee. For the rest of us, we have to be family friendly, brand friendly, and brands do look at this stuff. So do what you want, but I do recommend that you keep things family friendly and brand friendly. Right. And of course, underneath that, you can block links. So if somebody tries to spam your comments with links, it gets held in the comment held for review section.
I always block links too, because and there are some times where people come to my channel and they're asking me something like, Daniel, how can I do this video editing technique? And they give me a link. And it does take time to go through the held for review and go, that was legitimate. I'm going to let that one go and answer it. It does take some devotion if you're in your comment section, which I recommend if you're on a new channel. One of the strongest things you can do is actually spend time in the comment section, engaging and trying to build up a relationship with those people who have decided to watch your content, because they took the time to give you their time. That you should probably take the time to respond back and talk to them and try to get a conversation going. But I always block links because that's it. A lot of times you'll get, more often than not, I get someone trying to subscribe to my channel and they drop a link, or they just start posting spam, and it's just easy to have it all filtered out and worry about picking out the few that were legitimate and finding them afterwards. It just makes life a little easier.
You know what else I put in there?
What?
Sub for sub, grow together. Any variation of sub for sub, with spaces, without spaces, S for S, hug me, visit my house, whatever I can find in the comments, smack my dog, whatever they're doing these days. Smack my dog, I'll smack yours. Dog abuse. We do not support dog abuse here on TubeBuddy. Just want to put that out there. But anytime you find something annoying in your comments and you're like, I just wish they would stop that, copy it, put it in your blocked words, poof, it is gone.
Because that is one of the things. There's a lot of scam artists out there that always try to get ahead by one. They go like, "Oh, we'll rephrase it because we're realizing YouTube caught on to sub for sub." So we'll go. They post, "You hug me, I'll hug you." It's like, get out of my comments, you knucklehead.
Turn my lights on. I'll turn your light. I got that today. Turn my lights on.
That might have been me. I was actually, I've been lonely lately. I didn't know what you were up to.
You should have sent me PayPal.
Hey, we promised that we would take some questions from the chat, and I know we've covered all the basics of getting in there. If there's any questions in the chat, please feel free to reach out, ask us something, smack for smack. I love it. That's a great one, says McCamber Junkie. Hug for hug, support me. Yeah, these are all the ones we used to hear too. We used to hear, hug for hug, support me, all that stuff. Used to just, it still comes into this day. You would think that we've put the message out enough that it's such a horrible way to grow a channel. That's something we should quickly mention. Scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, says the DVZ.
All of that.
That's so funny. One of the things that, if anyone is new starting a channel and they're brand new to the platform, a couple of things you really want to pay attention to is do not do any sort of spamming or anything that is anything that might try to somehow create unintentional views that you're trying to beat the system, paid views, trying to, you sub to me, I'll sub to you. All of these things are against YouTube's terms of service. So if it is your first time coming to the platform and trying to build a channel, make sure you start with reading the terms of service and all of the YouTube policies, and then spend a little time. And YouTube has its own creator academy that actually walks you through the processes in depth and really gives you a lot of information to build a channel the right way and grow a channel and build an audience the right way. So there's a lot of resources there for those of you who may have not had a channel before and this really is your first channel.
I love that. So we're going to get into some questions here, but before we do that, if you've gotten value out of this, if you've learned anything at all, give us a high five, give us a hands up, let us know you've learned something, let us know that you found this valuable, and give this a thumbs up if you haven't given this a thumbs up already. There's 224 people watching right now. I would absolutely love to see 224 thumbs up. There's 173. That's just not enough. Yeah, that's just not enough. So
wait. There's a serious question right from the chat from Mr. Andrew Kin who asks, Daniel, what shampoo do you use?
The right questions.
That's the right question. It's important, Andrew. I'm glad that you went right for the heart of the matter and the things that are going to help us grow a channel. I actually don't know. It changes every few days. Sometimes it's like something simple, like off the shelf. And then sometimes because my girlfriend works at a salon, she'll bring me back something fancy. And I'm like, look at me. But I'm a pretty wash, rinse and go kind of guy. There's not that much product up here. Okay. I hope that helped you.
Yeah. Fun fact, I haven't used shampoo in probably 20 years. I just use soap on my head. All right.
Well, it's, whatever gets the job done,
Yeah. All right. So first question comes from Zostin. Zostin asks a great question, which a lot of people ask all the time. Pretty much every video I make, people leave this question. What to use for tags? Ooh. How do you use tags? What to use for your tags? Daniel, I'm going to pass that along to you, but first I want to say this. Use your tags, but tags are not going to move the needle for you. It's not going to be like, well, I used the right tags and I got a viral video. Of the order of importance, tags are probably the least important thing that you can do, but they are still there, so do use them. Daniel, how do you use your tags?
This is how I love using tags. Well, first of all, let me start here. If you, let's say we're Dan Nemeth and we're making that how to cook better cakes video, right? Or how to cook a better birthday cake. That's his title of his video. He's done a lot of research and he thinks this is the one that's going to be the hit for him. When he goes to put the tags in, what I would suggest is putting similar things that help YouTube understand what the video is about right when you publish. So I would put things like birthday cake or how to cook a cake, birthday cake cooking, how to cake recipe, easy birthday cake recipes, things that are very semantically similar to the title. I would also put things in there, like a lot of people ask me, should I use hashtags? That's another one. Hashtags, if you put a hashtag in your tags or in your description, they can sometimes reaffirm certain things, but I would only use a hashtag of your channel name. I think sometimes a hashtag of your channel name can be helpful if people are following, if you happen to have it in your title or description, because if someone clicks a hashtag that shows up in your title, because if you put them in your description, it shows up in your title in blue above, that will automatically populate a new page of other content that also is performing well using the same hashtag. So it's a great way to get people to group your content together. But tags in general are really powerful for me because I use TubeBuddy, and TubeBuddy for me automatically starts ranking that video for the tags I've put in place. So if I was making the how to cook a better birthday cake and I put easy birthday cake recipe, birthday cake tutorial, what TubeBuddy would do is it start putting little green numbers, and it would give me an idea of how that one video ranked for all those different tags as searches. So I can quickly learn, how's this video doing for that search, for that search, for that search term all at once. So for me, it's a research tool. I care less about them. I use it more for quickly understanding what other tags that I didn't, what other sort of terms that I didn't actually use in my title, but that were very semantically similar, my video ranks for, because that can give me ideas if I want to do a follow-up video.
Yes.
Wow, I could make it, and I could use that because I know I'm ranking for this other somewhat different one, and I can make another follow-up video on a different style of birthday cake, but use that one that I've already proven I can rank for.
I love that. Next question comes from Matt Carves, and this is a fantastic question too. What is the best metric to look at when you're starting out? I've got an opinion on that, but go ahead. You go first.
Let me just say really quickly, and I'm going to let Dee take it long. I will tell you this, that in terms of YouTube's eyes, the commodity that YouTube deals in is expected watch time per impression, which isn't a single metric. It's a combination of metrics. So what I would tell you is, it's not just one. It's the idea is you want to think about, you're trying to win the click, but you want to make sure that when you do get the click and someone views, that you're getting a decent average view duration. If you can, winning the click is something you work on your packaging on, but getting them in the door and being able to keep them, that watch time metric, how long you can hang on to them for, is a really important one to pay attention to.
That's absolutely perfect. That's absolutely perfect. I'm going to add one thing to that. If you are just getting started, and you're obviously, when everybody's, your first few videos, you're not going to get a lot of views out of the gate. Your click-through rate might not be that great. Your average view duration might not be that great because you haven't built the skills yet. You might not learn right away. Like, how many people come from a graphics background? Like, if you're a graphic designer or a video editor, or you're a professional in front of a camera, right? Maybe you work for news, or maybe you're a movie star or something like that. If that's you, raise your hand. I'm going to bet not a lot of people raise their hands right now. These are all skills that people have to learn. You have to learn how to make a thumbnail that people click on. You have to learn how to choose the right topics, and that's what TubeBuddy is great for. And by the way, if you have the TubeBuddy Legend package, you can A/B test your thumbnail, so you can figure out which one will actually get you the most clicks, the most subscribers, the most watch time, and so on. You have to learn how to edit your videos in a way that keeps them watching for as long as possible. Believe me, that's no easy task. I've been editing videos for 20 years, and I still struggle with this. I'm constantly video after video after video trying to figure out ways that I can get people to watch just an extra 30 seconds or an extra minute. So I would say, because you don't have those skills yet, do focus on your average view duration, but just make content. Just start making content. Make as many videos as you can, because through that process of making videos, through that process of making thumbnails and editing, you're going to get better. You're going to start to build those skills. So instead of looking at your first 10 videos and saying, wow, my metrics are horrible, just focus on making videos, right? Yeah. Know who you're making videos for, and just start building those skills up. Once you get enough data coming in, then you can start digging in harder into your metrics. But you've got a lot to learn when you're first getting started. So just start making content, get it out there. Worry about the metrics a little bit later.
And you know what? And if you wanted a really simple thing to look at in terms of when you're making content, the metrics that I would look at are your own metrics from your previous videos. Just try to do a little better. If you're thinking views, if your last video did 10 views in the first 2 days, see if you can get 12, 15. Try to get a little more. If your last video was 5 minutes long and this video is about 5 minutes long and your last one only got about a minute of watch time or average view duration, see if you can get a minute and a half. Try to get a little, or a minute and 10 seconds. Just try to do better than yourself. Don't compete against the whole platform, because it's going to, and there's a lot of seasoned pros out there. What you want to do is make sure that you're improving against your own performance from the week before and the week before that. You keep doing that, and I promise your channel will grow.
I love that, and I just want to let you know that it's okay. Like, if you have some videos and they're doing well, and you upload a video and it just doesn't connect, that's okay. That's okay. Learn from that and make another video. A perfect example, I just hit 130,000 subscribers on my channel. I've got over 10 million channel views. I'm a full-time YouTuber, and my video that I released yesterday absolutely bombed. It was an absolute disaster of a video. It came in at number 10, like 10 out of 10, right? So it's okay. It happens. I mean, it doesn't happen to Daniel, but it happens to the rest of us. And it's okay.
No.
You just
No.
don't beat yourself up if a video doesn't connect. Just learn from it and make another video. It happens.
I've had more tanks than the U.S. Army. Trust me, they have. I've put some out there that if I was like, this one's going to go, and I missed by so far, it was like I had blinders on. And it happens. Sometimes you're going to make, there's another part of it, sometimes you're going to make content, you're going to learn your audience. When you make enough content, what happens is you start to understand which ones connect. And sometimes you're going to make content for your channel that you go, if I'm Dan Nimmin and I've got a cake channel, boy, I probably should really teach people some basics about why baking soda, what's the difference between baking soda and baking powder and why they're each important. Maybe that's not going to drive the kind of views that a how to make a great wedding cake tutorial might do. But sometimes you need to put things in your catalog that is going to help the overall community and overall target audience, so that down the line, when someone does ask, I don't know the difference between baking powder and baking soda and which one should I use, you can say, I made a video on that, and you can link them to it. And it's another way to expand the catalog so that you're well-rounded in the type of value you're trying to present.
All right. I've got another question here. This is a really good one too. Chris Von Eric says, are long-form content useless and can they hurt you? Should I only keep them to 30 minutes? So let's talk about video length really quick. Sure. My whole thought on video length is make the video as long as it needs to be, not a second more, right? And when you do have that video, make sure you trim the fat. Trim the fat. If you have a 10-minute video, but you could still edit that video and it works in 8 minutes, make it 8 minutes. If you could edit that 8-minute video down to 6 minutes, make it 6 minutes. Trim the fat, respect the viewer's time. Make it as long as it needs to be. Don't try to extend it so you can get another ad in there. Make it as long as it needs to be, but also trim the fat.
Yeah.
Daniel?
And here's one of those circumstances where, starting to look at your analytics makes sense. All of the analytics, all of the metrics, as confusing as they can sometimes be, they're only there to help you better understand how viewers are consuming your content. That's the key word. How is the viewer consuming your content? If you're making content that's 30 minutes long and your average view duration after 100 videos is 5 minutes, I would tell you these videos are too long. They're only watching an average of 5 minutes. You've got an extra 25 minutes of content in there that people aren't really watching on average. So shorten it up. If you're making 25, 30-minute content that people are consuming 50+% of, a percentage of, then I would say that's pretty good. You're actually holding people for over half of that video. They're watching 15 to maybe 20 minutes of it, as much as half of them can be watching the entire thing. Then I'd say, hey, listen, that long form content is working. Same holds true to short form content. Learn your audience, learn your own style, because every channel will be different. Dan Nimmin's cooking cakes channel is going to be different than Tasty's baking channel is different than the next guy's baking channel, because everybody creates differently. We all have our own voice. We all look differently. We all sound differently. We taste differently. We see things as creators differently, and that comes out just like a musician would sound different. The songs sound different, and the styles sound different. That's true with creators, the way you make content. So not every view is created equal. So you want to learn your audience and see how they match up to the style of content and the way you make it, and let the audience tell you what they like about you, and repeat the successes, and then eliminate the ones that don't seem to do as well. Go, that's not really working. I'll do less of that.
I love that. And I want to show you one more thing. Daniel, if you want to share my screen really quickly.
Sure.
Because I know we're running over time here. Let me know when we're up.
You are up.
Perfect. So here's how you find out how people are watching your video, how long people are watching your video. And if you have a mobile phone, you're doing this on your phone, you can download the YT Studio app. It's going to allow you to see this graph a little bit differently. For everyone else, you want to go in and you want to click on the video that you want to look at the metrics, go to analytics, and then come over to overview and scroll down, and you're going to see this graph right here. And this lets you know how people are responding to your video. This is where people are actually leaving your video and how they're watching your video. And you can play the video. You can actually go in and you can play the video to see, okay, like, wow, there was a big drop right here. What did I say? What did I do? What did I show to actually cause this drop? Maybe there's a spike. What did I see, or what did I say or do here to cause this spike? And you want to find those patterns, eliminate the bad things, and do more of the good things to get people to watch longer. So this is how you figure out how long people are actually watching your videos, and if people even like your videos to begin with.
Yeah, and right above that, you can see, D made this video. It was just under 3 minutes, and the average percentage views was 53.5%. So that tells them there's a nice slow slope. Of course, most videos, when people come right in, that's when you'll see the most drop usually, but you don't want a really harsh drop. It usually slowly tapers off over the course of a video. That's a very common thing. There are some channels that can really hold people even higher than this, but this is a strong graph. He's holding people from more than half of the video people are hanging around for. So you really want to find like a nice graph like that. And if he saw that drop down to under 30% in the first minute, he would be able to say to himself, whoops, I did something wrong. That didn't work. Yeah, if he saw like a hockey stick like that, he'd be like, uh-oh, I need to rethink what I did at the beginning because I was chasing people off. Maybe I thought I put a long intro and I didn't get to it quick enough. I didn't get to the content quick enough. Or if there's a big drop at the end, you see how it quickly tails off right when he finishes. If that happens sooner, maybe he was doing too much end screen time saying thank you.
Exactly what it was.
So that's the kind of stuff you want to pay attention to.
That's exactly what it was. As soon as people know the video is over, as soon as they know, they're bouncing. So this is a great, right? This is to make sure that you put your in-screen video on there, linking them out to another piece of content, because you don't want them to leave. You want them to watch another one of your videos.
Perfect.
All right. There you go.
All right, listen, we've gone a little bit over time today. Dee, I want to thank you so much for your help today. You did a great job with all those graphs and screens and building that new channel. I should actually thank Dan.
That was Dan. That was all Dan, the stickman. Dan Stickman Nimmin. That's his.
Putting himself on the chopping block like that for all of our entertainment. That's great. We'd like to thank TubeBuddy for having us here yet again every month doing the show. It's been wonderful to do this. We hope what we did here has been helpful for people who are just starting on the platform, as well as anybody who hasn't done it in a while and needed a refresher course of, I was going to start a new channel, and this is good you walk me through it, because sometimes you forget where things have been relocated since the last time. There was a completely different system now because we have YouTube Studio. It used to be the old creative studio that was completely different. So things change. Hope this was helpful. Dee, anything else you want to add to this conversation?
Yeah, I just want to urge people, if you haven't started yet, this is your year. This is your year. You can start uploading. We just showed you how to get up and running, how to optimize your channel. Make that video, then make another video, then make another video. Because if you don't do it now, this time next year, you're going to say, why didn't I start my YouTube channel? So you can do it. You can absolutely do it. Daniel and I, Daniel, how long have you been on YouTube?
It's been, where are we at? About 2.5. This channel's about 2.5 years. But I've been on YouTube since 2012. So it's been a long time here building content.
Right. But that shift though, 2012, now you've been able to take this channel 2.5 years and turn it into a full-time profession. So if you focus and you do all the right stuff, you can definitely succeed on YouTube. And everyone in here is absolutely rooting for you. You can do it. And if you got value out of today's stream and you haven't smashed the thumbs up yet, go ahead and do that. And if you have smashed the thumbs up, give us a high five, give us a yes, give us a thumbs up in the chat, drop your favorite emoji. Let us know you enjoyed today's stream. I've cooked too many cakes.
Must have been rum cake.
Yeah. All right. Thanks to
listen, and if any of you guys want to learn how to increase your workflow and make your process easier for actually getting things optimized in your channel, absolutely. In the links below, we'll put links to download and install TubeBuddy for free today, so you can start using the Keyword Explorer and some of the other tools we talked about to optimize those videos, to optimize those playlists, and start making your workflow faster to make the creative process even easier than we've shown it today. Okay.
Love it.
Pete, listen, thank you very much for hanging out with us today. We really appreciate it. And we'll catch you in the next go around. Always a